Greetings. Welcome to Black Bear News. We are mostly involved in talking about climate change, but also about the world as it is, the state of the world as it is. Good morning. It's Saturday morning. So I've been going pretty much just live on all my videos lately, if you haven't noticed. I don't know. It seems to be more comfortable or easier just to get into the flow of doing it. Dana, how you doing? Good morning. So yeah, a lot of my videos are live right now, and it doesn't really mean too much. Poppy Davis, how you doing? It doesn't mean too much of a difference for you, although I think that a lot of people have complained that the sound is mono. I don't know why that is. I will try and figure out why that. Oh, you know what? Oh, maybe I don't know. Try and figure out what that is and try and fix it. D Ranch, welcome. SoCal in the SoCal. Yeah. So, anyways, I haven't been. If you guys have followed me on Rockfin, I'm on Rockfin. I haven't been posting too many videos lately on Rockfin because they only accept a certain file format, so I'm trying to figure out, because I'm doing the videos live now, it totally changes like the format and how it is that I go about uploading there. So it's kind of caused me a little bit of delay in uploading videos to Rockfin. But just keep your eye out there for more videos. I should have some more on there soon. They're usually just backups of this channel. So anyways, I wanted to get into, obviously, how you doing? You have a good point. I want to get into the big news from yesterday. I wanted to do a video on this yesterday, and I just was nowhere near being able to do a video. I was in the middle of, all kinds of things until late in the evening. But anyways, the big news coming out of Antarctica yesterday was that they recorded their highest temperature yet ever recorded, 65 Fahrenheit or 18.3 degrees Celsius. That was actually on Thursday. Almost a full degree above the previous high set 5 years ago, a full degree. Argentine scientists on the Esperanza base who confirmed the reading said that that wasn't the only record broken this week. The nation's Marambio site registered the highest temperature for the month of February since 1971. Thermometers there hit 14.1 Celsius above the previous February 2013 reading of 13.8. The reports are shocking but not surprising. This is out of Time magazine, by the way, from yesterday. The reports are shocking but not surprising, said Frida Bengtson, who is leading an expedition to the Antarctic for the environmental group Greenpeace. We've been in the Antarctic for the last month, documenting the dramatic changes this part of the world is undergoing as our planet warms. In the last month, we've seen penguin colonies sharply declining under the impacts of climate change in this supposedly pristine environment. Pristine no more. Even Antarctica is not safe from the ravages of climate change. Antarctica is among the fastest warming regions of the planet. Probably the fastest would be the Arctic. With the Antarctic Peninsula, where the Argentine bases are located, warming particularly quickly. Above average temperatures on the continent have risen almost 3 degrees Celsius over the past 50 years, excuse me. Anyways, that is shocking. Shocking, but maybe not surprising news. We shouldn't be surprised that we're going to get new temperature records every year. We're getting new temperature records in what the Southern Hemisphere, they're experiencing their summer. D Ranch says Paul Beckwith in his new vids puts his estimate for summer ice-free Arctic at 2025. So there you have it from somebody who is studying and teaching about climate science, a Climate scientist estimates that ice-free Arctic by 2025. The over-under on that happening sooner, I don't know what it is, but there's obviously a high likelihood that it can happen any year until 2025. High likelihood. Is it going to happen? We don't know. D-Ranch, everyone watching, let's hit that like button. Thank you. And also, guys, avail yourselves of the super chat if you can. YouTube is squashing the hell. It has been squashing my channel for like the last 3 months. They're slowing down the view counts on my videos. I have my channel monetized to run, it runs ads. But my ad revenue has gone down by like 70% in the last 3 months. They're messing with me hardcore. So, it would be nice to do more of these videos a day. It would be nice to do this on a more consistent basis. Unfortunately, I have to work a day job to pay my bills. So if there's any way that I can increase my revenue from this channel so that I can pay some bills and do more videos and less of the bullshit day job, that would be awesome. And I would like to grow this viewership and grow, the number of people watching. Also, just another quick plug. I told you all about this record that I'm making that deals mainly with climate change. Climate change is like 80% of the subject matter of the record. The overarching subject matter of the record is climate change. And my release date for the record is Earth Day, which is April 22nd, 2020. So a few months from now, I'm going to release this record. I'm working on it right now. There are ways that you can help contribute to the making of the record if you would like to. I will be posting those on the channel. I also have some t-shirts I'm making up for the record. There's a song on the record called Plant Trees, and I have a t-shirt that says Plant Trees. Is pretty cool. So I'm going to have those available fairly soon, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. But anyways, just letting you guys know, I have this record coming out. I'm very excited about it. Also, I'm spending a lot of time working on music. So if I miss a day or skip a day with these videos, I apologize. If that ever happens, it's mainly because I'm working on recording music. So there you go. Robert Curtin, thank you so much. Salt Lakers, but hey, you can drive with the top down all year round. What were you that was in response to somebody, maybe, I don't know. Salt Lakers also says, did you come across the news article where the Amazon is a net carbon producer? I don't know which article you're speaking of. I mean, I read something about that maybe 4 months ago. There was a report out that the Amazon was a carbon producer or carbon emitter. I think that's, generally well known now, or what it's, it's been talked about quite a bit. If there's a new article about it, please let me know. Prudhomme says the Antarctic has hitherto been isolated by the trans-circumpolar, I think that is what they are called, winds. Right. Well, they're, I guess, jet stream, right? It's their form. The trans-circumpolar winds have kept them, the cold in and the heat out, and that's breaking up just like the jet stream is breaking up. Osama, what's up? How you doing? Oh, you got the new Cicada tracks. Right. The name of the record I'm putting out is called Cicada. Thank you. I'm glad you like. If you are a contributor to the record, you actually can get those tracks early. So I'll drop a link before we go, guys, if you want to go check that out. Boom, we're going to make it on the record. Is Boom going to make it on the record? Yes, Boom is on the record. Boom is on the record. Thank you, Osama. Boom is on the record. There's actually one song out that's on my website. It's called Cicada. It's the title track from the record. You can listen to that if you like. There's probably going to be between 10 and 12 songs on the record, I think. I'm pretty sure. And most of them have to do with climate change and or the state of the world. the precariousness of the position that we're in the world, or the ridiculousness of the programming that we all operate within the world. That's what the record is about. Anita M. says, Professor Guy McPherson, Dr. Ye Tao of Harvard, and Jamin Shively invite you to talk solar radiation management with us on 2/14/20. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm down. Forest Dweller says the Amazon is a carbon pool part of the year only. Proudhon, no, I am not. I'm not covering Bohemian Rhapsody, although that song is about as awesome as any song gets. I have sung that song in a car full of people many times at the top of my lungs. Yeah, I mean, the Amazon is giving off CO2. It's emitting CO2. Thank you so much, Poppy Davis. I appreciate you. Every little bit helps. Friends coming home from Antarctica in the morning. Summer work is over. Yeah, I what can I say? This is just, to continue on kind of what I brought up the other day about the fact that we were just entering, we're entering another year of temperatures rising, of extreme weather events doing what they do, taking out infrastructure, causing people to scurry, run. You could have brought up some science, Galileo. Yes. Who knows? Excuse me. I have some they're topical songs on the record. Obviously, there's a song called Plant Trees. There's a song called Rewild. There's going to be a song, I believe, about like rising sea levels, kind of as a metaphorically, and literally. But yeah, there's going to be lots of stuff on the record. And there's some like kind of fun things happening too. There's a little bit of comedic relief, if you will. Gallows humor, even, if you will. Lightning Rod says predictions for 2020 tundra fires. Poppy Davis just figured super chat out. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? I don't have a Patreon, and I'm totally just blowing it by not having a Patreon. So that's actually my goal this week, is to set that up. You can contribute on PayPal. There's like a reoccurring donation thing if you want, but I think I'm going to do the Patreon thing too. Salt Lakers asks, how do we overthrow the government of Brazil? How do we overthrow any government? Maybe the U.S. government. Oh my God. Did he say that? Oh, you know what? But the funny thing is I heard somebody, asking like, when is the U.S. military going to go into Iowa and contest the election results, right? We feel like this dictator, Bernie Sanders, didn't really get the popular vote. And we have a president. His name is Pete Buttigieg, and he's the official president of Iowa now. So, Osama says Patreon sucks. Does it? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I know that everybody has it. So I don't know if it's very workable or not. But seriously, there are people trying to change the government of the United States. And, while the government of the United States is trying to go out and change all the other governments of the world, on fallacious premises, so, what's up with that? Like, what if another country was coming into the U.S. talking about, we need to give you all some freedom, because it seems like the oligarchs are running your elections, and, we need to save you from yourselves. We're trying to save ourselves from ourselves, but it's really difficult because, because everybody is the Democrats are, liberals generally are brainwashed, by respectability politics and the media, that like, oh, there's, how dare you say anything's wrong? These are all fine, upstanding people. They're just trying to do their best, and they really care about people, and they're not evil. They're not trying to do anything to anybody. They're not trying to, rig your elections. Bullshit. They are. That's what they're doing. If you can't see that, the obvious fact, I don't know where you are living, but like, people don't want to go down that road because it's just so, what if we go down that road and accept that the government is actually doing this to us, or that, the corporate state or the deep state is trying to control, our brains and control what's happening in this country. If you go down that road, then that kind of has implications about, your part in it and what it is that you possibly should be doing about it, or whether or not you can continue saying like, well, I have my job and I have my house and I have my car and everything's fine, and I'm just trying to go to work and feed my kids and have everything be fine. So I just don't want to, I don't want any of this chaos. Go Bernie, indeed. Dana Patterson. Yep. So there's this, I feel like there's this resistance. There's a lot of people that understand that the problem is real and it's very large and it's looming, and that we have a chance to possibly do something about it. But the thing is that if you have the actual person in place that can possibly get to be president and possibly take down our corruption level in this country by a couple of notches or many notches, and that person is being, cheated, basically, for lack of a better word, lied on, smeared in the media, told he's a bad person, telling everybody that he's a bad person. If you have that person and they're being basically run out of the presidential politics, or run out of the opportunity to get the nomination for president, then what are you left to do? What's left to do for the good people of the country? Other than other means of resistance, and what does that resistance look like? That's what I was asking. Can we change the state of the state? Or what's the over under on people actually getting pissed off enough to get out in the streets if Bernie is being cheated, 2 months from now, and we've had so many primaries, and they're like, oops, we couldn't count the votes. We didn't, this happens over and over again. Anyways. Osama says, predictions for 2020, more nanometals in your brain. Is that what's happening? Because, man, I'm feeling a little metallic. Jack Leroy says, Antarctica has been warm beforehand and will be again. What does that mean? That means this isn't a thing? That they broke a heat record? I'm not sure what that means. They will be warm again. They'll be even warmer. Earth says, I will support BBN on Patreon. Thank you. I just got to set it up, so I appreciate it, guys. Whenever I set it up, and I will set it up really soon, I'll have that as one of the ways that you can support the channel. Bob Jones, spot on regarding your political views. The DNC will try to bring down Sanders. Privately, they prefer Trump. Exactly. A lot of people on this channel are already very hip to, progressive politics and progressive channels out there. And, oh, yes. Thank you, Osama. $2.70. 27. Let's do it. Let's do it. I appreciate you, man. What was I saying? I have no idea. Most of the people on this channel are hip to, getting their political news outside of the mainstream, either on the right or the left. Most people are. Some people are still, kind of there. But you really have to get rid of those news sources, or at least see the fallacy in the things that they're trying to give you as facts. I mean, this entire week they've been trying to say that Pete won the Iowa caucus, and it's just not true. Even on reported by their own websites and their own channels, Bernie won it. He has the popular vote. He won the popular vote. He won. They won the same amount of delegates. They're trying to run this state delegate bullshit thing out there. Just like they were trying to line up super delegates behind Hillary last time before, votes were even cast. That's how they tried last time. This time they're trying to... State delegates don't mean shit to anybody. They don't mean anything to anybody. They don't mean anything. And the thing is that Pete Buttigieg, got the Des Moines Register. They were releasing a poll the night before the caucus. They do this every year, and it's pretty accurate with his predictions on who was going to win. He got them to squash that poll, to not release that poll. First time in 79 years. Pete Buttigieg that did that. There's been. He also got the DNC to stop counting the satellite caucuses. Right, satellite caucuses are where. They're mainly people of color and working class people, women and people of color in these satellite caucuses. They set up these caucuses because it's hard for people to caucus because they have work shifts or they can't get to the caucus sites. So they set up these caucuses like in places where people are working or places close to where people are working. And most of those people were people of color, and Pete Buttigieg went to the DNC and said, "Hey, we don't like the way you're counting this, or we don't like these counts." What was happening was those caucuses were overwhelmingly for Bernie, like 80% or 90% for Bernie, and Pete stepped in and got them to stop counting those things. Pete is a bad actor. He is an evil player in this game. He is not to be trusted. He's most likely part of the intelligence community. Some people are saying that he's CIA. I don't know if that's true, but he worked in naval intelligence. That is true. That's factual. You can find that for yourself. He is absolutely a tool of the deep state, and he's not to be trusted on any level. On any level. I think he should be disqualified because not only the things that I just brought up, but he has had a major financial stake in the app that they use to count the votes. The guy that won the caucus had a major financial stake in the app that they use to count the votes. That should disqualify Pete from the entire race, from the entire presidential race. That right there. That's like a presidential candidate owning voting machines, right? Owning a financial stake in voting. Like, what if it came out last year that Hillary Clinton had a 30% stake in the voting machines that were used in the elections? Do you think that should be a disqualification right there immediately? What do you guys think? I don't know. I've been trying to raise this issue on Twitter and on other channels, and I don't see anybody talking about it. Pete should be disqualified right now. Right now. He should be disqualified from the race. Absolutely. Anyways, get so angry about it. Natural Progressive, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Temperatures are going crazy all over. High temperature swings in so many places. I am back. Good to see you back, Natural Progressive. Hope all is well with you. Ian John says 50 million millionaires think that they will live underground in perpetuity as civilization without the riffraff. Right. They think this is, that they might ride this out, without all the proles getting in the way, those pesky proles. And they're, asking for fairness and equality. God damn them. So, Pete Buttigieg is a bad guy. He's not a good guy. On top of the fact that he blatantly mischaracterized black support in South Carolina, he sent out this email saying that he had all these people supporting him, and the people were like, "No, we never supported him. He's lying. We don't support Pete Buttigieg." And half the people that he claimed all these people were black, and half the people were white. He's incredibly full of shit. Anyways, All of this actually ties, directly into climate change, because climate change is a political problem if it's to be addressed or to be recognized on any, major level. If human beings or society is to wake up in time enough to have any kind of chance of doing anything about this, we must change our politics. We have to change our politics. You have to be involved in politics. You have to be concerned with it. You can't just be like, oh, it's just whatever. If you're not going to be involved in politics, if you think it's all bullshit, then we have to, figure out how we're going to get out into the street and change change what's happening. Because if you're just sitting around thinking it's going to change, bitching about it on social media, I actually think it does help on many levels. Having a YouTube channel actually helps. Having a Twitter account helps. Having a place where you can voice your opinion, it really helps, because, it becomes a counter narrative to the mainstream narrative. However, that's not going to do enough. That's not going to be enough. George Socrates, hello. What the fuck? Disqualify? Exactly. He must be disqualified. This should be like national news. They should be talking about this on CNN. He has a financial stake in the app that malfunctioned, and he claimed he won the race the first day when they didn't know any of the vote. Okay? That should be a disqualification. That's the exact same as having a stake in the voting machines. Absolutely unacceptable, inappropriate, and illegal. I would think that would be, some kind of criminal, or at least, there should be consequences for that. CB Unglesby says Trump's daughter owns them too. Owns what? Voting machines? Mayor cheat, indeed. I've been trying to trend hashtag disqualify Pete. If you guys can help me on Twitter, disqualify Pete, and just give a reason why. But that should be a main one: the fact that he's financially involved in this app. Actually, check this out: Biden and Klobuchar also donated to this app maker, but they donated like $1,000. Pete donated like 42 grand. 42 grand. He's a major stakeholder in this. Magical Thinking Barbie, meet offline, a movement online would be kind of obvious. Well, it's got to happen on all levels everywhere. I have to say the benefit of being online and having the internet is that people can have access to this information. It's much harder to get without this, without these meeting places and these spaces, right? Without being able to, see news in real time and to have conversations about it. And to, when the Iowa caucuses were happening, this stuff was coming out about Pete almost immediately. Like the same day I was seeing stuff about him owning the app or having a financial stake in the app, and seeing things about him being the one that got the Des Moines Register poll killed. This is important in countering the narrative. Mayor Pete bought refuse trucks that wouldn't fit down the rear lanes in South Bend. Old ladies had to drag their rubbish through their houses. Yeah, he wasn't that great of a mayor. And the black people in South Bend will tell you that he was really not a good mayor, that they were completely marginalized. They never saw him. And Pete would be demolished by Trump. Thank you, Mustafa. Hapsataki, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Helpful indeed. Where are we going here? How can I be so homophobic? Yeah, I know. Damn it. You can't say anything bad about Pete because you're homophobic. Can't say anything bad about Elizabeth Warren because you're sexist. Can't say anything, what about saying anything bad about Bernie Sanders being anti-Semitic or ageist or sexist? Like the Warren sexism. Exactly. Oh, the corporate media, thank you, Natural Progressive, for this comment. Corporate media busy calling Bernie a liar. They're saying he's lying that he won the popular vote. The mainstream media they have the popular vote totals on their site. You can see that Bernie is in the lead, but they're calling Bernie a liar when they're, is anybody going to go, for the people that aren't really into politics, are they really going to go look, that deeply into it? They're going to just be like, what? Bernie's lying? Oh, yeah, I should have known Bernie's lying because I'm anti-Semitic. Forced Dweller, it's almost comedy. No, it's straight up comedy. It's straight up comedy, and it's incredibly sad at the same time. All right, Peter. Well, I don't know about that. Let's not go that far. Okay. Look, Pete being gay, more power to him. More power to him. There's really nobody cares that he's gay. Like, I don't care that he's gay. Like, do whatever makes you happy. But, nobody's criticizing Pete because he's gay. They're criticizing him because he's doing bad shit. His behavior is off. He's lying. He's, rigging the election. He's, part of the corporate state trying to run, Bernie Sanders, give him a loss instead of a win. They're trying to thwart Bernie Sanders. Anyways, we're talking a lot about politics, and that's fine. Because, again, we're not going to deal with climate change unless we can actually have some kind of political system in place that accepts the science and does something about it, is willing to really do something about it and not just talk out of the side of their neck about it, a la Trudeau or Macron. Proudhon says Buchanan was the first gay president in 1856. I didn't know that. Was he gay? I didn't know that. I mean, more power to you. I have no cares whatsoever if we had a gay president. I mean, whatever. As long as that gay president cared about working class people, as long as that gay president, cared about black and brown people, cared about women, cared about, and had policies in place that helped those people, and, cared about dismantling the oligarchic state. But Pete is not that guy. Pete is not that guy. The Natural Progressive says Romney is a huge investor in election machines and signed with Dems on impeachment. Curious, yes. I mean, Romney is one of those, he's one of those what's called a moderate Republican. And there's a few of those, not few, there's actually many of those in the Democratic Party. Like, people that are kind of like, they could cross over, Romney could probably be a Democrat if he wanted to be. He's absolutely part of the deep state. In fact, Obamacare was originally called Romney Care. It was a health plan that was it put into place by Romney or just suggested by Romney? Anyways, I think it was a healthcare plan put in place in Massachusetts by Mitt Romney. So, and Obamacare is basically just a blueprint or taken from the blueprint of Romney Care. So, not a very progressive healthcare system. Actually, it's a Republican healthcare system that Obama was like, I'll give you guys healthcare, kind of, not really. Tom Mallard. Arctic methane in East Siberia has clathrate deposits in hundreds of gigatons of CH4 and icy structures that release it above 2C 28.4 Fahrenheit, and the atmosphere has about 5 to 6 gigatons of CH4. It's not much to double. No, it's not. I don't understand what you're talking about, Peter. I'm not really following your line of thought. Doug Delane, Pete is scoundrel, Bernie 2020. Indeed. Scoundrel. How about mountebank? That's good, Prudhomme. I like that word too. Mountebank. Rapscallion. Yeah. The UK got Brexit. Oh, so that's a really good point, Prudhomme, about Brexit, is that, it won. Brexit won. It was a will of the people. And in Bernie and in Trump, you have the will of the people against the establishment. They're the mood of the country is anti-establishment. The establishment doesn't understand that at all, or maybe they do understand that, and they're fighting for their very lives. And, Trump was elected by the will of the people. And Bernie, if he were the nominee, would be elected by the will of the people. And when you go against that, you are going against the will of the people, and you are creating a situation in which people get really, really pissed off and don't want to vote for you anymore, a la Hillary Clinton, a la the Democratic Party. Bernie promoting that maybe, just maybe, there could be international cooperation to fight climate change. Bernie 2020, exactly. And this is what it comes down to. Bernie is the climate change candidate, and the one that actually you can believe is a climate change candidate. I know that Tom Steyer and Mike Bloomberg are out there talking about climate change, but these billionaires, they're not going to. They want to promote more capitalism through, conversion of our economy to renewables. And they're really all about corporate rule, right? So they're not going to help us fight climate change. They are not the people to help us fight climate change. Not in any way, shape, or form. Bernie would be able to do it because he knows the source of climate change on many levels is the military-industrial complex. He understands that it's, basically industries in and of themselves are a big part of the problem. So, I think he's he's willing to really get to the root of the problem, even though it's politically a third rail, right? If we really want to tackle climate change, it's a political third rail. It's very hard to, tell people the truth about the fact that we need to, kind of downsize our economy or downsize our industrial production. Realize, real lies, says Romney Care was a product of a Republican think tank funded by insurance companies. Ding, ding, ding. And Obama was like, sure, we'll give you this. And everybody's like, oh, Obamacare is the greatest thing. Actually, I don't hear anybody talking about Obamacare being all that great anymore. In fact, I dislike Obamacare. I have an extreme dislike of Obamacare. Whoa. Whoa. Hold on. Salt Laker says Barbara Bush was actually a dude. Was she? I don't know. You know what? They say that about Michelle Obama too. Whatever. I don't want to. That discussion is like, it's not even really important. I mean, even if it was true, it would be like, whoa, that would be crazy. But look, it doesn't actually matter to anything. That doesn't matter to anything, and I don't really care. But Prudhomme says Barbara Bush murdered her ex-boyfriend in 1963. You can research this yourself online. I actually heard about that. If anybody wants to research that, have fun. That might be something fun to look into if you're interested. Anyways. So let's look at this other. I've been online for quite a while. So I can't be here too much longer, but I wanted to look at another news item. This is from February 3rd, 2020, from the Union of Concerned Scientists. The U.S. Navy quietly shut down its task force on climate change. What happened? The U.S. Navy has dismantled its task force on climate change. Does that mean, show's over, folks, nothing to see here? carry on about your business. Everything's fine. Let's just keep going forward. I think I just spit coffee on the screen. Sorry. Which was designed to use the best available science to prepare naval leadership for the global shifts in sea levels, melting ice sheets, and ocean temperatures. The task force was shut down in March 2019 without a public announcement, and climate change science and information has been scrubbed from the department's website. According to a Navy spokesperson, the task force was duplicative and no longer needed. Though the task force work had not been fully incorporated into the Navy's decision-making process. So they had a task force, and they weren't really incorporating the information into the decision-making process. So basically the Navy was going, okay, that's nice. Thanks for letting us know. Anyways, but isn't this a reason why, excuse me, didn't we hear this about another site that was reporting climate science? It was a government site, and they shut it down because they said it was duplicative or redundant. Yeah, so that seems to be a new one, right, for the government to say, oh, this is redundant. You know, we already have this in place somewhere else. We don't need this, so let's shut this down. Okay. Yesterday or the other day, I reported on the Wet'suwet'en territory. It appears that they were actually raided on February. This is from February 6th. The RCMP moved in on the Wet'suwet'en territory in an early morning raid that brought dozens of officers and vehicles down on an unconfirmed number of supporters. A total of 6 individuals refused to leave the area and were arrested for obstruction, said a statement released by the RCMP. 1 individual was arrested for resisting arrest as well as obstruction. Arrested for resisting arrest. That's always the best one. No. I'm not moving. Well, I'm going to arrest you. No, don't arrest me. Okay, I'm going to arrest you for resisting arrest. As well as obstruction, several individuals, including members of the media, were transferred out for safety reasons, but not arrested. Okay. Safety. Police set up an exclusion zone early in the morning, banning all local traffic and media from entering the territory. Video and images coming from inside that zone show a convoy of vehicles heading up the Morris West Forest Service Road. Some of the images show people in handcuffs and being led away by police. Yeah. Thanks, Trudeau. Thanks. Unfortunate and infuriating that once again, indigenous people are losing the battle against fossil fuel industry, and the government that supports them with, and removes them with force. Moving on, lastly, in this video, I got to sign off, guys. Pete Buttigieg hires former Goldman Sachs executive as national policy director. Well, isn't that nice? This should tell you all you need to know about this guy. Former Google Sachs vice president and Google executive, Sonal Shah, now executive director of the Beck Center for Social Impact and Innovation at Georgetown University, will be the campaign's national policy director. Well, all right. Well, she is a woman, and she is probably a woman of color, I'm guessing, but maybe I shouldn't guess that. But she's also a former Goldman Sachs vice president, so there you go. The hiring comes as Buttigieg, mayor of South Bend, Indiana, struggles to stake out a clear niche for himself in a crowded Democratic field featuring a number of high-profile progressives. Oh, well, one more political story. This is funny, or interesting, or totally not surprising at all. Women of color bolt from Elizabeth Warren's Nevada campaign in frustration Complaints, comments, advice, and grievances were met with an earnest shake of the head and progressive buzzwords, but not much else. A half dozen women of color have departed Elizabeth Warren's Nevada campaign in the run-up to the state's caucuses with complaints of a toxic work environment in which minorities felt tokenized, and senior leadership was at loggerheads. Excuse me. Loggerheads is also a great word. So yeah, Elizabeth Warren is one of those candidates that's all like, what about women? And what about people of color? And what about, let's help the working people of this country. But her organization, her supporters, her funders, all tend to be white, management class liberals, part of the structural elite, basically. And she is also, a beneficiary of this, the support of these elite. And, her actions and her words don't line up. They tend to not line up, but she loves to wield the, identity politics thing about, Bernie being sexist or Bernie saying a woman can't win, which is a lie. This is straight bullshit. And, she's also got lies herself in her past, right? She lied about being Native American. She put that on her application to Harvard. She was actually known as the first woman of color to be accepted to Harvard, which is absolutely infuriating because she took the space of another woman who could have been, an actual Native American who could have been accepted into Harvard. Yeah. She also lied about being fired for being pregnant. She lied about her kids going to public school. She just doesn't tell the truth. And that's not sexist to actually call her out for her own behavior, which is being a liar. Sorry. I would love to see a woman be president. A woman who cares about the military-industrial complex, who cares about common people, working people, who actually cares about structural change. I would love to see a Tulsi Gabbard, a Jill Stein, a Marianne Williamson. Hit the like button. Thanks, guys. We got 50 likes and 107 viewers. I appreciate y'all. I think we were up to like 114 or something like that. Thank you, guys. Natural Progressive says we are not free if we do not have the right to protest. Indeed. Osama, bastards. Indeed, they are bastards. Yep. Prudhomme, just agreeing with you. Thanks, guys. You know what? I've run into the end of my time limit. Yay, run from Warren. Natural Progressive says run from Warren. That was released in Politico a few days ago. It's not a good look. I mean, Warren seems to be, she still has pretty steady support, but she also seems to be going down, down, down. As the truth about her campaign and her, past and just her basic, the way she runs her, the way she's running her presidential campaign is not really on the up and up. She also is taking big money. She's accepting money from big money donors again, going against. Oh, somebody asked Elizabeth Warren right after the last debate, would you take Mike Bloomberg's money if you were the presidential nominee? She said, yes, I would. Right after she said she doesn't take money from billionaires. She's just so full of shit. God damn it. She's just full of shit. Gray Silverback, Bernie Tulsi, one more time. Indeed, the dream ticket. Lydia Valise, hello, how you doing? I'm just about to sign off, but hello, and thank you for jumping on at the very end. Rich Diana says her voice triggers my epilepsy. Yeah, she's kind of annoying on many levels, but I don't care about. I'm really more annoyed by her behavior, her standpoints, her viewpoints, her contradictions on policy. I'm really annoyed by those. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you very much. I really have to go. I've got some things I've got to get into with my day. Donald McCarthy says you are all Farticus. So we'll leave you with that. You are all Farticus. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Take it easy. Yeah, Philip, I know the sound is mono. I'm sorry. I've been trying to figure it out, and I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to fix it. Appreciate you guys. Be well, and peace out to you until probably tomorrow. See you next time.